Раз. Бонжур, хату интеллигенция. Продолжаем ранить в тенях. Ранить. Так, трансляция пошла. Звук есть. Чудно. Сейчас пообщаемся с нашей госпожой, с тетушкой. Возможно, она расскажет что-нибудь очень-очень интересное. Касательно паренька в маске. Это, конечно, невозможно, а точно. Пойдем люлей выписывать ублюдку. Судя по всему. А там, глядишь, уже можно будет и до босса добраться. Но посмотрим, на самом деле. Так, значит, пообщаться с Kindly Chen. Kindly Chen is the midst of employing 2 plastic shopping bags when you enter. She places the contents in a pile of her mahjong table. 2 liquor bottles without labels, a box of her thin black cigars, an assortment of individually wrapped gourmet chocolates, and a large caliber pistol with electrical tape wrapped around its grip. Ah, good, you are here. It seems like forever since we saw each other. Виделись буквально сегодня или вчера. Forever? You haven't been gone that long, auntie. Auntie. Или auntie. Aunt. Нет, тетя aunt. Auntie. No, I haven't. That was just something Nightjar used to say to me every time he saw me. While I was away, I met with several contacts within my network who referred me to others in neighboring cities. Regardless of how far technology moves forward, traditional demands that some things be handled face to face. I have information that will lead you to the man who killed Raymond Black. Так, хорошо. Excellent. While you were gone, we uncovered a relationship between Josephine Chen and Raymond Black. Did you? And what was it you uncovered? The man who raised us isn't Raymond Black. He is Edward Chen, the son of Josephine Chen. You were raised by Josephine's son? That explains where Edward went when he disappeared years ago. Seattle. What happened? I don't know. Just that he went missing after Josephine completed rebuilding the walled city. That was in early 30s. You realize what this means, don't you, my sweet? That inbred little god whore was cold enough to have her own son executed. You said you had news of your own. I told you mine, now tell me yours. And your news was fascinating, my sweet, disgusting and riveting. But my news will give you what you need to move forward. I know the identity of the plastic-faced man. His name is Li Tai-lun, and he's an independent contractor, a trusted, deniable asset, who handles all of Josephine Cen's more delicate operations off the books and away from public eye. The plastic-faced man is her shadowy right hand outside of the corporation, and I know how to find him too. I've made contact with an information broker, Xiaoji, who works out of an abandoned night market in Shekip-mei called the Shin House Courts. It's not hard to find. Xiaoji has gained access to the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. Блин, я даже сфотографирую это слово, интересно. Itinerary. Так, скриншотики есть. Where he'll be, who he will be with, what sort of security he will have, the works. You can use it to perform an extraction. Grab him and find out what he knows. Did you find out why Lee has a face made of plastic? It's not just a face. Lee Tai-lun entire skull is synthetic. He's designed himself to be the perfect corporate operative. He's installed a unique piece of hardware. You see, it allocates and compartmentalizes client-related memories so that they can be erased upon the completion of a job. And as an added security measure, this cortical implant will wipe his memory if it detects that he's been captured. Seriously? He can just wipe out everything having to do with Zen Mechanical Services? It's all part of his branding, apparently. Unless you can find a way around the cortical implants, you'll have no way to extract the information he has and figure out what happened to Raymond Black. Now I've done my part of this, my darling. You need to find a way to neutralize that device. I know a way. I've heard of something like this before. I met someone in the Matrix who had a similar memory white implant once. It was a requirement for a big job, and she pulled it off. Keep talking. Her handle is Dreamland, and I know where to find her. All that we have to do is to convince her to give up the secret of how she did it. Okay, Zobel and I will go see Dreamland before we hit the information broker. Then we grab the plastic-faced man. No matter who you choose to help you snatch this guy, I'm gonna be there when you extract the information from him about Raymond. You got it, Vladis? We should all be there. I know what I wanna see this. I know that I wanna see this. Very good, my darlings. Now listen to me. After you get what you need from the plastic-faced man, I want you to end him, you understand? I need to send a very clear message that this is what happens when you mess with Kindly Chan's operations, with Kindly Chan's people. Josephine takes Nightjar, I take her plastic-faced man. Once you snatch the plastic-faced man, San will know something is happening, and events will unfold very quickly after that. You'd best close out any present business you have before heading to Snack Keep Mei to see Zhao Ji. Do you understand? Yeah, I get it. Once we set the ball rolling on this, there's no turning back. That's right, my darling. No more side jobs and no more dalliances. Be sure that your affairs are in order before you head to see the information broker. Так, а вот это был намек на то, что это одно из последних заданий. Это одно из последних заданий. Что у меня по деньгам? У меня всего 1300, да? Ну, судя по всему, это предпоследнее задание, потому что перед последним должны еще выдать дополнительные опилки. Так что поехали. Ну или предпоследнее, в общем, посмотрим. Так, сейчас мы едем в Dreamland, да? Go meet with Dreamland and see what she knows. А, это даже не совсем традиционное задание. The tenement that Dreamland lives in smell of malt and desperation. The people living here are the kind of who don't want to be found. Okay, this is the right place, Vlados. Emily should be in the first apartment. Is she dangerous? She shouldn't be. Emily is a decker, yes, but she's really more into programming than she is violence. Her handle is Dreamland after all. She quit running last year. Something about some sort of activity that she used to be into, and a bunch of big money exes who are holding the grudge. Emily is from Berlin, but she moved to Hong Kong after the F-state collapsed. The Schockenwellen writer, that's the group that she worked for, were supposed to protect her, but they've got their own problems to deal with now. I guess that she decided she'd be safer on her own. Okay. F-state, I'm not up on my world politics. An experiment is sustained institutional anarchy. Great environment for a Shadowrunner, but it ended up like just communism did. Another pipe dream. The German government gave the corporations the go-ahead to invade last year, and they forced the anarchists to retreat to the eastern parts of the city. Now Berlin's run by the corps, just like Hong Kong. I bet they wind up building a wall again. Wouldn't put it past them. Okay. Anything else we should know before we talk to Dreamland? No clue, really. I've never met her in the mid-space. Just be your charming self, I guess. I'm sure that everything will work out just fine. Okay. If you're sure, then let's go. I hope there will be no shooting here. So, Emily, hello. The apartment is no better than the hallway. Empty fast food cups and packages of dried snack food are strewn about the room. In the corner, a box of cat litter sits filled to overflowing. You don't see any cats. There's a patched-together matrix terminal sitting on a stack of crates connected to a benched-up cyberdeck. Within arm's reach of the cyberdeck is a 20-something woman with pale white skin, dirty blonde hair, and a bleak expression. So you are a Zobel, huh? I didn't expect... a dwarf? Yeah, I get that a lot. No, I didn't expect you to be so pretty. I should never have agreed to this, Zobel. I should never have ever responded to your message. If the oligarch swine who've been hunting me find out where I am, they won't find out from us. This is the man I told you about. He needs the software that you developed to inhibit your cortical implant. He needs what? I don't think I should be getting into this. I need your help, Emily. That's great, Vlados. Now go away. I got my own problems to deal with. In case you are not up to current events, I've got a kick line of mercs and bounty hunters after me. Messing around with headwear that the shock-welded writer installed in me is the last thing on my mind. I'm not asking you to mess with your own headwear. Just give me a copy of the software you developed so I can use it. It's not that easy. I can't just copy it. It's bound into the operating system of my headwear, and the connections are too fiddly to mess with without risking a complete memory wipe. Then where would I be? I get it. Listen, I know a guy, name's Rhombus, who knows headwear. I mean, really knows headwear. He's the only one who installed my head storage, moved my walled city memories over to it too. Rhombus can copy your spoof, and he will too, free of charge. He can probably make a few tweaks while he is in there to make your life easier too, Emily. No kidding? Sounds like a win, I guess. Gotta be better than this. Let's go see this Rhombus and get it done. I'll have Rhombus modify Taser with Dreamland's cortical inhibitor software, Vlados. The jolt should stop the plastic-faced man's memory wipe process before it starts. You'll be able to go to the information broker when you're ready. Я уже готов. Custom-made weapon, usable at mid-range, deactivates the target's neural wipe and leaves them stunned. The effect takes 3 rounds to sedate the target. Берем. Едем дальше. Квайр. Итинерарий чего-то там. Так, что мы берем? Мы берем Изобиль на всякий случай. Мы берем Дункана, он хотел, очень хотел. И мы берем, наверное, эту, она посильнее, чем Гайчу. Подтвердить. Да, поехали. Things are getting dirty. The extraction. Isobel has modified the taser to introduce Dreamland's crucial Cortial inhibitor program into the plastic-faced man's neural network. That should stop his headwear from completing a memory wipe and allow you to interrogate him for information about Raymond Black. But first you'll need to find him. Kindly Chance made contact with an underground information broker named Xiaoji, who has managed to obtain the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. With it you can choose the time and place to perform the extraction and find out what he knows. Xiaoji works out of an abandoned night market in Shekipmei, the Shinhouse Courts. Так, это главный герой, да? У меня есть топовая пушка. Топовую пушку берем. Эта штука обязательно у главного героя лежит. Изобильдек, понятно. Что у нас тут еще есть? Дункан, Гоббит. Можно понакидывать. На кой черт оно дополнительным слотом лежит? Дейта Джек, ни у кого нету. В чем прикол? Непонятно. Ладно, поехали. Главное, я намутил себе топовую пушку. Теперь могу наказывать. Так, встретиться с Сяожи. Или Сяоджи, или, короче... С каким-то, короче, встретиться. Встретиться с Xiaomi. Хаускорт. Верхний этаж, да? Прям верхний этаж. Это не он. Сяожи, ты где? The boss in the back. Go on through. Окей. 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 Сяожи. О, здорово. Здорово. The dwarf is the queen of her little hive. A heterogeneous swarm of snitches, toolies, and spies. A various gleams in her eyes. They dart round you, taking in morsels of information so quickly they appear to vibrate. She mumbles little mnemonic rhythm to herself as she tags and labels you all. Ah, yes. The new on-the-scene runner, Vlados. My friend in Huoi said you'd be coming to see me. Okay, так. We are here for information about the man with plastic face. Our mutual friend said you had some. Very timely intel, very timely. I have his complete, up-to-the-minute itinerary. Where he will be, who he will be with, security coverage, the deluxe package. How much for this deluxe package? Unfortunately, the deluxe package is no longer for sale, nor is any information about him. So sorry. I received another offer, a better offer, to take it off the market just before you arrived. From who? Lee Tai-lun's clients. I believe you know the company. I feel really bad about this, but the offer was too good to pass up. Way too good. You don't want to work with Josephine Sen. That's the thing, Vlados. I do. Attaching myself to her is smart. Very smart. Ten's big in Hong Kong and getting bigger. She's already on the executive council and is a frontrunner for the next chairperson position. And all I need to do is make sure you don't walk out of here alive. Ля ты крыса, эмбуш. Ля ты крыса, конечно. Так, ну их всего 5, да? Всего 5, есть шанс убежать. Даже попробую начать с нее. Так, у меня даже по дефолту уже есть 3 очка действия. Ну, сюда. Что если завалить эту паскуду в первую очередь? Так, что тут у нас? Remote Mine, Detonate All. Нет, давайте просто так. Раз. И 2. Ага. Так, девайс выпал. Девайс выпал. Значит, можно не надеяться, что остальных не надо добивать. Минус 2 АП. Ну, могло быть хуже. Могло быть хуже. Так, 80 и сюда 80. Ну, давайте сюда и будем наваливать. 82. Кстати, это что за пушка? Подожди, это 10. Это одиночные выстрелы, да? Не, есть full автофайр. Есть full автофайр, это радует. 52, 51, 64, но в упор так себе идея. В упор так себе идея. Ладно, берем гранатомет, тогда куда-то в дальних. Нормально, промах. Промах на 20 урона. Всегда бы такие промахи. Попадание на 12 урона, промах на 20 урона. Вот это я понимаю. Serious shit. Так, ну давай подожжем тебя. И тут раз. Сорян. Плюс 11 хп. Еще гранаты полетели. Это серьезно. Минус очень много. Минус очень много. Восемь. 22. Хоть какое-то попадание. Уже неплохо. Так, ну и добить. Не добить. А ты? Отлично. Так, забираем документики. Загрузить дату. Zheoji left her computer unlocked. She has the plastic-faced man's complete initiative. Это настолько тупо и смешно получилось. Plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. This will tell us everywhere he's going to be for the next 24 hours. Anything promising? Absolutely. I just need to run some searches on these locations. See if I can get blueprints photos. First, the bad news. He's got a security detail that drives him from place to place. 6 corporate agents plus the driver. Anytime he's on the move, he's in a reinforced bulletproof limo. He's also got a personal bodyguard that's with him at all times. But there are some windows of opportunity that we can take advantage of. When he's going someplace, they drop him off and leave him in the hands of local security, if any. The bodyguards stay behind, but the other 6 guards stay with the driver. The detail itself is shared by a few executives, so they will be somewhere else until this next pickup time. The convoys are on schedule, managed by the master system at Sunk HQ. Okay, I've got 3 good leads here. I think we can run an extraction on any one of these. Number 1, the parking garage at Central Plaza. He's there for a meeting in an hour. We can grab him out on the way out. It's still secured corporate property, but there will be resistance. But it's the weakest out of the corporate properties he visits. Plus sides, there won't be any civilians. Access is limited and he's listed as a VIP in their system. Not bad, enclosed space means he can't run. Interesting. Next lead. Next one is a bit personal. Mr. Plastic has a mistress, visits her twice a week. Today's the day. He will be at 5UN Tower building for 2 hours. It's not corporate property, but it's privately owned. The management company has a security contract on it, so it's likely we'll have a fight on our hands trying to get out of there with him in low. It will be less crowded than the parking garage, but the lady might compliance things. Interesting. Who goes for a plastic-faced guy? Alright, and the last one. We have to grab him before he gets home tonight. Once he's home, we are screwed. He's staying at the 10 Executive Arcology, guarded 24/7 by corporate security and 2 blocks from the HKPF HQ. The final location we could grab him is his last stop for the evening. It's a logically owned public Simpsons theater, a hole in the wall that specializes in underground horror flicks. He is there for an hour and 45 minutes, and his security detail will be all the way across town to pick someone else up. We will probably have to deal with local police only, but this is a public theater. It's going to be packed with regular people just trying to take in a movie. Any thoughts, Duncan? Garage is my pick. Cars in the garage will provide cover. Limited entrances and exits to worry about reinforcements. Small amounts of collateral damage. The Simpsons parlor and the apartments are going to end in blood. Maybe less of our blood, but more of someone else's. I don't want that on my head. I made my decision. Garage. Okay, the call is made. We go with the middle ground. Затревелируйте на extract location. Ну, погнали на экстрактирование. Я, в принципе, и сам больше склонялся к гаражу. Мы все-таки не ублюдки какие-то, вроде как. Head to parking garage. Yes. Ого, так сразу. Неплохо. Так, значит, он должен выжить. И надо его подстрелить с его специального оружия. Night Rand Guard. Я могу здесь... Ага. 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 А чё же вы так на меня-то агритесь, я не понимаю. За что, ребята, за что? Ого. Сильное заявление. Так, 75. Поехали, минус. Надо подлечиться в первую очередь. А то мало ли сейчас бой закончится после этого хода. Не закончится. И что дальше? А, все, вижу, что дальше. Вижу, что дальше. Нормально такое. Обожаю эти промахи вообще суперские, которые наносят больше урона, чем прямое попадание. Так, раз, два, три, четыре, пять. Их 5 уже. Защитите мистера Ли. А кто из них? Найтрандгард, гард, бодигард. Гард, бодигард. Так, ну поехали. Нормально. Обожаю промахи. Просто божественные. Божественные промахи. Лучше не бывает. Так. А Фейстмен все накидывает, да? Фейстмен все накидывает. А ну иди сюда. Петушара. Unconscious 3 хода. А что мне с ним делать-то теперь? Убить нельзя. Что делать? Мины, марк, флэш, overload targets, optic nerves. Все это мимо. Все это мимо. Ну, Дунган бахни еще разочек. Вау. Найс. Найс. Да ты запарил? Своего босса сейчас застрелите, ребята. Вы чего? Куда это годится? Я надеюсь, этот не побежит сюда. Будет немного неловко. Ну, конечно, куда еще он мог побежать, кроме как не на выстрелы гранатомета в упор? Куда он не мог побежать направо, наверх? Он не мог побежать вниз? Конечно же нет. Он мог побежать только в сторону смерти. Жесть, просто жесть. Окей, сейчас попробую тогда не разваливать эту стенку. Гир сюда берем. Дункан нет, давайте Гоббит. Поехали. Да не сюда. Ну с какой день... Да вы шутите. Подожди, лот гейм. Чё, прям отсюда начинаешь? Подожди, ты отсюда начинаешь и мне говоришь, что это автосейв? Один слот на автосейв. Ты грузишь начало уровня и сразу перезаписываешь? Это издевательство. Серьезно? Там же ж был game saved. Что за приколы? Я думал, типа, блин, рестарт конкретно... О, все. Чуть не сгорел. Так, на всякий случай еще F5 нажму. Чтобы уж точно. Чтобы уж наверняка. Так, ты. Ты, давай сюда. Не убегайте. О, хорош. Не убегайте. Подтверждаем. А теперь вы вдвоем. 56, 71. 71, естественно. Ты сюда. Ну, кстати, по-моему, можно было бы и из боя уже выйти. Не хотят. Окей, F5. F5. Будем продвигаться потихоньку. В принципе-то я понимаю, что мне придется свернуть там за угол и все дела. Может, получится как-то по одному повыкуривать охрану. Я надеюсь. Так, хорошо. Подойдем поближе. Сюда поближе. Сюда поближе. Блин, ну... Стрёмно. Окей, отсюда я уже могу расстреливать. Весьма успешно причем. Причем весьма успешно. Так, 62 тут не видно. Ну, давай 62. Кого-то да попадет. Кого-то да попадет. Неплохо. Сюда 74. Минус 1. Найс. Так, меткость главному герою. Скорость главному герою. Главный герой еще метко валит сюда. Так, а где главный злодей? Пластик Faced Man. Ага, это уже накоцанный. Это уже накоцанный. Окей. Продолжаем тогда вырубать охрану. 69. Привет. 69. Привет. Не достану, да? Ну, тогда подходим. Перезарядка. Нормально. Пластик Фейст живой. 43, 44. Давай это. Уф. Уф. Так, слечить пока никого не надо. Тут что стреляй, что не стреляй, конечно. Разве что так. по ХП беда. Угу. 3 хода, отсчет пошел. Лечить. 10 хп. Но 10 хп не спасет. Это беда. Это беда. Так, тут еще толпа прибежала. Давай-ка ты, наверное, полечишься. На всякий случай. Мы здесь продолжаем... Сколько? 12 урона. Wounded на 19. Даже не знаю. Так, наверное, надо вызывать... Вызывать раз. Идти в атаку. Что тут всего один ход первый дается, да? Ладно, по одному будем отстреливать. По одному будем отстреливать. Еще один выстрел сюда. Мимо. Бывает, бывает. Сейчас я буду дробной крысой грызть. О, тут еще тоже саммонер. Тут тоже саммонер. А ну-ка, так, перезарядиться. 90%. Здорово. Был саммонер и нет саммонера. Так, крыса. Крыса, наверное... Ладно, посмотрим с одного выстрела, что будет. Пока вроде ничего. Просто чтоб крысу не убила. А, ну у крыс еще пол хп есть. Нормально. Хилимся, живем. Огонь. Ну, было близко, было близко. Так, ну что, остается там все пару человек. Изи. Что вы хотите сказать? Уже не изи, да? Уже не изи. Так, это кто? Найтеранд капитан, Пластик Фейс, Найтеранд. До свидания. До свидания. В смысле не до свидания? Это поворот. Раз. Два. Один склеился. Второй склеился. Хилки нету. Крыса. Крыса, грызи. Найс. Найс. Ну и крысу, наверное, сюда. На случай, если тут еще кто-то забежит. Я так понимаю, могут. А ты целься. Целься сюда. Ты целься сюда. Сдохла крыса. Так. The neural inhibitor device seems to be working. Let's get this guy to a secure location and get some answers out of him. I'll calm the crew and have them meet us. Alright, let's move. Let's move. The crew is silent as you lead your captive to the rooftop rendezvous you designated before the run. Just as you planned, you find the others waiting here for you. Li Tailun's artificial features are molded into the expression of aloof intellect and mocking rigidly. The plastic that makes his face is soft, flexing with the motion of his underlying musculature. Overlapping wafers of silver and bronze, foil buried inside the material, catch the light as he moves. It's the work of a master craftsman. Cyberware as a form of modern art, likely commissioned at modern arts prices. An ostentatious display of status and wealth. The plastic-faced man examines the zip ties that bind his wrists with an expression of detached amusement. Isabel runs a long cable from her PDA to the jack in the back of his head and nods at you. Well, this is interesting, I must say. I don't recall ever having been in this situation before. Usually I simply awaken to find myself in a strange new environment, wondering what happened. Not this time, Mr. Lee. You know my name too, very impressive. Looking at the lot of you, I think it's safe to assume that a violent extraction of information is the next order of business. Oh, you can bank on that, asshole. So, you choose to take me in an empty parking garage surrounded by corporate security. Low chance for civilian casualties. Clearly, the safety of innocents is a priority to you. For you. GLaDOS, we have a problem. Dreamland's neural inhibitor software isn't interacting with this guy's cortical implant the same way it worked with her own. It's only going to slow the memory wipe process. Oh, anything you can do? To stop it? Nothing. This is way beyond me. We are talking about software I didn't write interacting with two different pieces of hardware I've never seen before. We are lucky this works at all. I'll try and key in some buffering routines or something to slow it as much as I can, but my confidence is low. This guy's memory is going to get wiped one way or another. I'd start asking questions, GLaDOS. Tense. Very tense. I guess I'll answer your questions rather slowly. Break one of his fingers. Lee's finger breaks with a loud snap. His face remains rigid and expressionless, though his body tenses and his breathing hitches for a moment. Beyond that, he makes no sound. That was extreme. There was no need for that. I was joking. Of course I'm going to give you what you want, although this can be a dangerous profession. I have no intention of absorbing pain for a client if it can be avoided. You ask your questions, GLaDOS. I'll answer them as efficiently as I can. When we've done, I'll shake hands with the stranger and walk away wondering what just happened. Who are you? Just a professional problem solver who is very, very good at his job. Now, don't waste your time on me. There were bigger questions to answer, don't you think? You're right. Why is Josephine Tan trying to kill us? She believes you're here to destroy one of her special projects. Prosperity? Yes, although technically there is more than one Prosperity. Prosperity Tower is Tan Mechanical Engineering Corporate headquarters. Prosperity is also one of Josephine Tan pet projects. Which one do you want to know about first? TikTok. Про ее Prosperity. Well, that's going to be challenging. You see, the Prosperity Project is Cho-Tan's best kept secret, and the best way to keep secrets is not telling anyone, even someone whose memory can be wiped. All I know is that Prosperity is something built deep inside Kowloon Walled City, some kind of experiment that her own son was working on. Edward San. No, wait, Raymond Black, my father. Hey, Mr. Plastic, maybe you could settle a bet between me and my brother. Now I think Raymond is still alive, but my brother here is not so sure. Which is it, buddy? Raymond Black, dead or alive? I got 20 yen on this. Guys, a status bar just propped up. It isn't moving yet, but you never know when it might take a jump. It's stuck at 0 right now, but the process is starting, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Here, give me that. I'll show you something. This is a calculated gamble. You're running out of time and holding all the guns. I have information you want and betting that if I share it with you, you won't kill me when this is over. Go on, Is. Let him have it. The plastic-faced man takes the PDA from Zobel and stares down at the screen. His eyes become unfocused and he stands like a statue. A low-resolution video recording pops onto the screen. A small weathered man, possibly in his 70s, is strapped into a high-tech chair and connected to an elaborate scientific instrument behind him. The recording is from the first-person perspective, presumably the plastic-faced man's. This is from when I first brought the asset, your father, the Prosperity Tower, after I took him from the tea house on the docks. The video continues and a confident voice can be heard from off-screen, a woman's. You can't make out what she says. The point of view turns to the right and a graceful woman of intermediate age steps into view. She's clearly advanced in years, but access to nourishing diet and cutting-edge pharmaceuticals afford her vitality of someone much younger. She speaks directly to the camera. Her tone is hard. I warned you to be gentle with him, Mr. Lee. He looks as if somebody teased him. I assure you, Miss Stan, I was gentle. He walked out of the tea house under his own power. May I have some water, Mother? My throat feels like it's on fire. Yes, of course, Edwards. I'll have someone bring you some ice chips. Your son has apparently been through some sort of ordeal. He appeared demented at times. And he's been mumbling about stopping something. Prosperity, I think. Yes. Well, that won't be happening. We won't be stopping Prosperity, Edwards. I want you to get that out of your mind. Do you understand? I understand perfectly well, Mother. There's no need to shout, but I won't give up. Prosperity must be stopped. All those poor people. I know, Edward, I know. Those poor people. I've done a lot of good to make up for it since you left. Shelters, hospitals, all sorts of good work. And now it's time to do something for you. Something I should have done a long time ago, perhaps. From the left side of the screen, a man enters in white lab coat. The woman looks up and nods, and the lab-coated man places a chrome apparatus on the old man's head. What is this, Mama? What are you doing to me? I'm fixing you, Edwards. All you can see is failure. You're incapable of seeing the good in what you've done. The man in the white lab coat presses a button on Raymond's chair and the robotic arm swings into view. A cobalt blue light springs from its tip and the arm quickly circumnavigates the old man's head, bathing it in oscillating blue. A high-definition three-dimensional image of Raymond's brain appears on the wall behind. I've been inspired by Mr. Lee here. We are going to do some editing of your memories to relieve you of your burden. No, Mama, what? I figured out what to do. And then he is asleep. Your payments will be made according to our agreement, once the rest of them are dead. The video ends and the plastic-faced man exhales slowly. I've taken a big risk showing you that. I don't give a rat's ass, he turns to you. You see, I knew it. I told you, Vlados, Raymond's alive. 10 holding him at Prosperity Tower. He may be alive, but it looks like his mama's gonna erase part of his memory, just like Johnny Plastic here. She's gonna try to fix him. What kind of mother would do that? Shit. Zobel thumps her PDA furiously, but it's no use. That's it, he's wiping. Oh, hello. Well, isn't this awkward? What do you want to do with this guy? He's got no memories, so it's probably safe to let him go, but Auntie said we should take a dirt nap. All the same to me. Да чё, застрелить, ублюдка? But he gave us everything we asked for and more. He's seen our faces. But I have nothing to connect them with. If it's all the same with you, I'd prefer to just walk away. And him. My pleasure. Как будто были варианты. Все иллюзия, все иллюзия. Так, возвращаемся в Хиуэй с информацией. Скорее всего, батя нас не узнает, в принципе. Ему там память потерли, и как бы до свидания. Крутись-вертись, а памяти нету. Деменция — серьезная штука. Шутки плохи. Шутки плохи. Так. Revelations. The trip from Shek Mei back to Hioi is quiet as you process the information revealed by the plastic-faced man. Prosperity is a name, two names actually. One is a secret project Raymond was working on before he left for Seattle. The other is corporate headquarters in 10 Mechanical Services. And Prosperity Tower is where Raymond Black is being held alive. It's also where his memory is in the process of being reprogrammed by his mother, and time is ticking. The plastic-faced man proved surprisingly amenable and quite useful before you killed him. Your next stop is Kinley Chan. She will want to hear this. Ну, расскажем тогда, если она захочет это услышать, то почему бы и нет. Сейчас, по идее, должны уже финальные обилки пооткрываться. You step out of the MTR station into the balmy night air. An impenetrable wall of clouds, heavy with imminent rain, has blown in from the south. It covers the stars, causes them to wink out one by one. You can smell something on the air, something electric. The wind whips around you, and the clouds begin moving in a thick grayscale swirl. The spiral builds and grows, shimmering with faint amber lights. As you watch the clouds roil in the sky, the sounds of the city retreat. A bubble of soft white noise replaces them, wrapping around your head and reflecting your own heartbeat back on you. You look down from the clouds to see the lights of the docks dancing in a warm, saturated bloom. Enjoy the stillness. You lean back and take in your surroundings. The boats, the golden glow of the lights on the water, the lapping of gentle waves against the docks, and then the first twinge tickles your chest, lets you know that something's coming. A moment later, you feel an incredible tightness in your chest. It feels like your heart is being crushed under the foot of a giant. Your vision goes gray, and your sense of balance disappears. Gradually, blood rushes in to refill the organ, inflating it like a balloon. Try to catch your breath. У меня ни хера нету. You gasp for air, it doesn't come. Your breath shallows out, thins, makes you gasp like a suffocating fish. Your chest contracts again, and as you struggle to take in breath. You stumble forward, and every cell in your body seems to vibrate. The energy thrums inside you, pulsating, building to an unbearable crescendo. And then you are on the other side of it. Whoa. Вот это, конечно, перелетики. You find yourself standing in a familiar courtyard, the walled city. You're back in the walled city, just like in your dreams. You can taste the stench of the place, the mildew, the plaster, and wet dog stink of the slum. What the The crumbling facades of tenement buildings lean into one another above you, closing in on either side and creating a narrow walkway. Just like in your dreams, there's nowhere else to go, nowhere but forward, down the path ahead. Погнали. You let your legs carry you forward. You feel a creeping sense of certainty in the back of your mind, and it tells you that you've taken the same walk hundreds of times before. The sense of claustrophobia mounts and builds with every step you take. It feels like you're worming your way forward down a long dark tunnel. The humidity of this place sticks to your skin. As you proceed deeper into the walled city, a low rumble fills the air, the noise of enormous gears in motion. You feel hollow, empty, and with every step you take, you can feel the emptiness growing, an unbearable yearning unlike any hunger you've ever known. Продолжаем идти вперед, чё? You continue walking, just as you always have, just as you were meant to. Off in the distance, an alien silhouette beckons to you. It's her, the tall, slender thing from your dreams, the elusive figure that you've always been moving forward, but could never quite reach. A crowd of locals lines the path ahead, kneeling in supplication. They look emaciated, all skin and bones, clothed head to toe in dirty rags. Продолжаем идти. You brush past the kneeling figures and continue forward. As you do so, a mounting sense of correctness builds in your chest. These people are beneath notice. They should be ignored. Your feet carry you past them, and soon enough they fade from view. Your legs carry you deeper and deeper into the beating heart of the tenement. If you haven't reached the center yet, you must be close. It's incredibly hot and humid in there. The sweat rolls down your body in sheets. Your thoughts go hazy with the heat, and a dim sense of unease takes root in the pit of your stomach. Продолжаем идти. You grit your teeth and push forward, struggling to ignore the fog. The omnipresent sound of grinding gears isn't helping. Looking up, you can see where the noise is coming from. A hatch. The same door that you saw in your nightmare back when all of this began. The markings of the door are legible now. A single word is faded yellow paint. Prosperity. Suddenly, impossibly, the alien figure that you've been moving forward is standing right in front of you. At the same time, your vision finally clears, and ice water runs through your veins. The walled city isn't a slum at all. It's an enormous, gaping maw, and the buildings are the forest of crooked teeth. The thing reaches for you. With inhuman speed and grace, it plunges fingers of polished ivory into your mouth. Slowly, terribly, it begins to wrench your jaw open. You can feel your teeth splinter and break, and... И шо? И всё? Rough fingers on your shoulders snap you back to reality. The hand clenches into a vice-like grip and yanks you backwards off of your feet. You come crashing down to the floor of the Hyoe MTR station. You can feel a rush of wind just in front of you, a passing train. What's wrong with you, Vlados? Auntie Chen's lost too many runners already. Besides, there are cleaner ways to end your life than jumping in front of a train. That wasn't a suicide attempt, asshole. Не будем так хамить. Thank you, I owe you my life. You're right. Now get up and get back to the floating wreck that you sleep in. You don't get to die in here unless Miss Chen says you do. Okay. Так, значит, тогда возвращаемся, да? Назад и пообщаемся с Киндли Чен. Чё по деньгам? По деньгам 1300, хрен чё купишь. Кармы 20 штук, но тратить пока не буду. Посмотрим, может потом на что-то конкретное пригодится. Так, ну идем, Киндли Чен, пообщаемся, раз такое дело. The walk through the Mahjong parlor is punctuated by the tantalizing smell of coconuts and fried confection. Your crew surrounds Kinley Chen, watching uncomfortably as she peels small egg-shaped delicacies from a waffle-like pastry and pops them into her mouth. Each time she does, her eyes close in ecstasy and a soft sound comes from her throat. There are you, Vlados. Your crew here tells me that you were able to locate and interrogate the plastic-faced man. They haven't told me his current disposition, however. I assume everything went as I instructed. Yes, Auntie. We took one of Josephine's pieces off the board. That was for you, Nightjar. I trust you got something useful out of him. We got plenty. He gave us a data dump on everything he knew about Prosperity Tower. First-hand info. Fish-stand. Fish-stand вместо first-hand. Бывает. Josephine's headquarters. That could be useful, I suppose. What do you intend on doing with it? We're gonna rescue Raymond. He's alive, Auntie. And like I said he was. Just like I said he was. Josephine's holding him in there. She's doing something to his brain. Something to his brain? What is that old bitch up to now? Based on the memories that Mr. Plastic showed us, it looks like she's trying to rewrite her son's memories using something called ASSIST, Artificial Sensory Induction System technology. It allows the user to record, process, and feed synthetic sensory input to the brain. Like a SimSense chip? Yes, Auntie. It's the technology that led to SimSense. It's also what allows Deckers to enter the Matrix and grants triggers a neural connection to their drones. An expert assist technician could alter someone's personality, memory, even identity. Sounds complicated. It is. It requires a massive amount of computing power, and it's not like a temporary SimSense experience. Changing someone's memories requires a world-class expert and assist. I'm not sure exactly what they are doing to him, but I'm guessing that his mom wants him to forget something, or to remember it differently maybe. And we have no idea what that is. No clue. All we know is that she's holding him in Prosperity Tower while her people work on him. This woman takes depravity to a whole new level. She's rewriting her son's brain? Who the hell does that? Let's stay focused, Duncan. Mr. Plastic dropped us a couple of terabytes of data on Prosperity Tower right out of his brain. Gunshow and I have been studying it. Lots of good intel of mine there. To mine there. Just what we need to take a run at the place and hope to get out alive. How do we make our approach? Fortunately, Prosperity Tower is one of Tsen's lower security locations. It's mostly administrative, marketing, that sort of thing. That's good. Mr. Bao, give the runners those old Tsen security passes you used on that hijacking last year. Yes, Miss Chen, they'll get them. Those passes should get you through the lobby. You'll still have to explain your presence, Vlados, so don't expect to just walk on through. What about that junk data you held onto after the Wuxin run, Isabel? Anything in here we can use? Good thinking, and I'm already ahead of you. I scouted the leftover Wuxin paperwork and found a way to change our status to special couriers. We can use that to pose as third-party vaccine users to deliver important packages. That will work for a while, but we can't expect to stay in cover for long. One way or another, things are gonna get hot. Ну это да. Things are complicated enough. Let's take the direct approach. Fair enough. We're going through the lobby. That's all I need to know. One other thing, while I was helping Duncan verify as much of this data as I could, I decided to collect our marker with Bull and his team of runners. Good call. We need all the help we can get. Yeah, no kidding. Turns out Bull and our runner friends hit 10 a few months back. Low ran smash and grab for another corp, but they got a quick scan of the building's matrix security before they rabbited. They gave us data flags that pinpoints where the security nodes are located inside of 10 systems. So when we jack into a security station, we'll be able to make a direct attack on the security node. That could just buy us the seconds we'll need to cut the alarm link. Nice work. One more thing, Vlados. While you're in her headquarters, look for anything we can use to incriminate or embarrass Josephine Tan. I want dirt, something I can feed to an acquaintance on the Executive Council, someone who stands to gain from it. Right after I secure my father. Of course, my sweet, of course. And now go enjoy Prosperity Tower and give Josephine Tan my regards. Ну, погнали, погнали. Погнали. Так, и все еще у меня не максимальный уровень команды, значит, до финального задания еще где-то 1-2 задания, стопудово. Оружие я же не куплю, да? 1300, нифига не куплю. Нифига не куплю, поехали. Поехали. Infiltrate Prosperity Tower to rescue Raymond Black. Думка наберем в любом случае. За Бати идем, Гоббит. Ну, в принципе, да. Самая начальная команда, она, по сути, и самая оптимальная. Причем, я думаю, какого бы ты персонажа не выбрал, трое, которые тебе даются, это Декер, это Хиллер и рабочие ручки с автоматом. Так, Prosperity Tower. The walk to the MTR station is tense. Infiltrating the headquarters of a megacorp and locating Raymond Black will be challenge enough. Extracting him from his mother's assist device before his memories are permanently altered is another thing altogether. You hop the MTR South Island line and roll noisily down to the nearby island of Apli Cho. A dense forest of soaring skyscrapers and corporate greed. Amid them, blending innocuously with its neighbors, stands Prosperity Tower. You open the door to the lobby and step inside the headquarters of Tan Mechanical Services and its CEO, Josephine Tan. Josephine Tan. Так, кто у нас там был? Изобиль нет, Гоббит. Тебе даем эту штуку. Скорее всего, пользоваться не придется, но мало ли. Так. Найти батю. Освободить батю. Взломать охрану. The decadence of Tan's administrative lobby is the first thing to hit you. The mood lighting, designer wallpaper, and the sense of burn and lavender license all blur together into foreign landscape That feels more dangerous than the rotting alleys of Hong Kong. Even the plants seem to condescend to you in their hand-carved limestone posts. Across the room from you stands a receptionist, 3 guards at her back. She seems unaware of what, at least indifferent to your presence, but the guards behind her lock their eyes onto you and adjust their postures. Regardless, it appears to be a routine response, as the guards on the far right lifts a hand to his face and lets loose a long, loud yawn. Security may look light, but we are not in yet. Worlds will only get us so far. Things are bound to get heated eventually. Just be prepared to cover your ass when the bullets fly. We've got a lot to get past before we can get to Raymond. He's right, keep our objective in sight. Kindley said we can find information on Raymond's location in the security stations. It'll be tricky getting into them, but once we do, that's also there we can cut the alarm systems. Once we find Raymond, I'll be happy to help him with his liberation. And as for the 10 security passes, we shouldn't really rely solely on them. They will help, but using them alongside our own wits will be most effective. Так, ну окей, значит, пройти. Первым делом пройти reception. Welcome to 10 Mechanical Services. How can I be of service? I'm here to make a delivery. Is that right? And who is the delivery for? Так, ну угрожать мы явно ей не будем. Show her your 10 security passes. Did I said I have a delivery? I meant I'm a part of new maintenance crew. Here, I've got credentials. It seems your credentials have expired. Gentlemen, please keep your visitor company while I check these passes. Make it quick, please. My orientation starts in 2 minutes. It appears your identification is from a deceased employee. Guards. Подстава. Подстава. Прямо со входа подстава. Но на что еще, собственно, стоило рассчитывать? Так, гранатомет. Гранатомет к бою. Раз. Найс. Гранатомет 2. Перезарядочка. 89, 59. Там по 60. А ну. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. О, ей еще и декинга не хватает. Это, конечно, прикол. А я могу качнуть? Погоди. Exit. Я не могу их качать. Не могу. Беда. Беда. Самое интересное, что даже если бы я сейчас качнул 5 декинга, у меня все равно нету с собой непосредственно деки, чтобы что-то сделать. Walk away, все. Так, а что дальше? Мне дверь я какую-то могу открыть? Алярм window. Я же не могу. Ну так, чисто. Чисто ради прикола. Ну окей. А чё поменялось? Чё поменялось? Пройти не могу. Понимаете, в чем прикол? Не понимаете. Давай на себя кастанем. Че, может, в кого-то попадешь? Ого. Игра аж подвисла. Так, ого. Серьезное заявление. Так, серьезное. Значит, что, лечимся? Лечимся. Теперь отходим. Чтоб своего не зацепить. Я, конечно, все понимаю. Что дальше-то делать? Ну, прикол. Ну, типа, выходили. Открыли дверь. Ого. Серьезная заявка. Первого сношу полностью, вообще без вариантов. А вот дальше начинаются проблемисы. Вы прикалываетесь? Сколько это будет продолжаться? Остановитесь. Остановитесь. Ой, тьфу, блин. На себя. Перезарядка здесь не столь важна. Но вот здесь можно. Ты запарил? Прекращай. Ух, ё. Солидно прилетело. Солидно прилетело. Украсть. Ты. Маг. Давай мага. 2. 3, 4. Найс. Толстяка. Да ты шутишь. Ты, должно быть, шутишь. Ты, должно быть, шутишь. Так, что тут? Тут я так и не выключу, да? Но я надеюсь, это дополнительное, да? Hack Security Optional. Окей. Значит, будем прорываться. Так, on the elevator wall is a large panel covered in buttons. A keypad is mounted beside it. The buttons are left unlabeled, but you know from the plastic-faced man's data which floors have security stations. Давай sales and acquisitions. Security. Как вы себе представляете выключение аларма в данном случае? Я вот себе не представляю. Так, 85. И то не лучшим образом отстрелялся. 72, 68. Этого не видно. Давай сюда. Найс. Что берем? Security Station Card. Сюда нам. Понял. Понял. В целом понял. Хорош. Хорош. Тут ничего не скажешь. Хорош. В отличие от предыдущей миссии, здесь мне уже не важно, гражданские, не гражданские. Будем валить все, что движется. Я уж думал, не попадет. Конечно, все возможно. Мне просто броню уничтожает планомерно. Так, хорошо. На случай, если они придут из лифта, Надо быть настороже. Да, пришли из лифта. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой, ну за что ж ты так? За что? Это было очень жестко. Это было прям очень жестко. Это прям жесточайше было. Да, лучше ею, конечно, в Overwatch не становиться. Жестяк. Что-то аптечек надо было бы, наверное, накупить. А я этого не сделал. Так, ну тут надо лечить всех по очереди, вообще без исключения. Ты перезаряжайся, а в Overwatch стой с пистолетом. А как так? И вот этот чел не попал в радиус, мне непонятно. Какая-то дичь происходит. Незаконная. Капец, игра затертых годов. Если 4 человека одновременно стреляют, то начинаются подтормозки. Что не так? Какого черта? Ага, вот такого черта, да? Ой, ну тебя мы застрелим. Это же не проблема. Добить. Добить. Так, ну тут я не знаю, достану. Нет, все-таки наносится урон своим. Это плохо. Это плохо. Так, кейкарт, который я нашел в самом начале. Поехали. Изобиль. Залазь. Так, изобиль. Наконец-то прокачалась. На всякий случай сохранюсь. всякий случай. Так, ну поехали. Ага. По себе вваливает. Вообще не вижу причин не вызвать всех противников на арену. Быстрее можно было бы со всеми исправиться. Да вы шутите. Да вы шутите. Третьего давайте сюда. Понятно. Понятно. Так, по ХП у нее полная, да? Хороним одного, я надеюсь. Такс. Тут, благо дело, мне уже путь показывают, да? Угу. Угу. Ни хрена себе, 100 IP урона. Ага, а он будет плюс 5 систем трейса накидывать бесконечно. Я буду промахиваться с вероятностью 86%. То, в принципе, нормально, наверное. Для кого-то. Девять, 4, 5, 8. 9, 4, 5, 8. 6, 4, 3, 2. 6, 4. Ай, черт, блин. 1, 8, 6, 9. 1, 8, 6, 9. 7, 3, 6, 4, 3. 7, 3, 6, 4, 3. 5, 2, 5, 3, 8. 5, 2, 5, 3, 8. 8, 8, 1, 3, 8, 9. 8, 8, 1, 3, 8, 9. 5, 6, 5, 7, 4, 6. 5, 6, 5, 7, 4, 6. 8, 3, 5, 1, 4, 6, 4. 8, 5... Чего? Так. 1, 7, 5, 6, 4, 7, 4. 1, 7, 5, 6, 4, 6. Черт. 1, 1, 8, 1. Так, закорючка есть. М последняя. Первая закорючка, последняя М. Вшка нет, закорючка, последняя М. М. Закорючка В. Вот это. Ух. Так, привет, спасибо. Игра шикарная. Игра шикарная, но я туплю. You hack the node and the vulnerable network is quickly infected by spoof programs. Within a matter of seconds, the programs spread across the system, sending false security alarms throughout SEN. The security network is becoming less and less stable. More guards pick up the summons to locate each alarm's origin, but they continue to only find dead ends. Это прекрасно. Это прекрасно. Охрана дурачки. Так, ну ладно, пойдем посмотрим, что здесь находится. Так, тут какие-то мракобесы находятся. Ни хрена себе критуют. Угу. А я промахиваюсь тем временем. А можно попасть? Спасибо. Хотя бы раз. Так, это что делает? Хит. Можно, конечно, повысить шанс, но... Сейчас мне один прилетит, и я до свидания. Не, хилимся, живем. Хилимся, живем. Ух, ну поехали. 25 секунд. 2-9, 2-7, 2-9, 2-7. 9-7, 4-5. 9-7, 4-5. 6-6, 4-5-3. 6-6, 4-5-3. 8-8-8, 3-5. 8-8-8, 3-5. 6, 5, 8, 3, 3, 8. 6, 5, 8, 3, 3, 8. 3, 9, 4, 5, 2, 3. 3, 9, 4, 5, 2, 3. 5, 5, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6. 5, 5, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6. Так, что слева? Справа вот эта херовина. Второй треугольник, по-моему, да? Справа два треугольника. Два треугольника. Это вот этот. Internal announcement. TEN security increased. The TEN company has increased its security measures in a company-wide movement to protect its investments. TEN's actions on this matter are to remain company knowledge only. Any mention or leak of this information will not be tolerated. Employees found guilty of divulging said security movement to outside parties will be blacklisted and purged from TEN mechanical services. Security protocols will double throughout TEN proper. In the case of Laboratory 12, security will be enhanced threefold for optimal protection. Those who work in Laboratory 12 will be upgraded to Omega level clearance. Admittance to the laboratory will will be heavily monitored, and all visitors must have a mega clearance or higher with critical business in this area. The captain of the station has pre-approved a limited release of Laboratory 12's elevator code to Omega personnel. Receipt of this message is proof of your authorization. Warning, this information is highly sensitive and should remain restricted to Omega Plus knowledge only. Violators will experience the aforementioned blacklisting and company purging. A list of digital conversations that have been sent from this floor appears. One in particular, an exchange between a 10 executive and an employee in accounting looks promising. Давайте прочтем. To magical research. I was informed that you are the best person to contact regarding the passcodes for the Magical Research Center. As a new recruit to the accounting team, and with security being so tight, I lack access to the center's files that are necessary to perform my biannual accounting reports. I'd appreciate if you'd send me the codes by EOD today. Shen Li, accounting specialist. No. What you're asking is extremely unorthodox and is blatant disregard of company's protocol. My department is under constant security and I can't afford a leak. You'll have to go through the proper channels and fill out the required paperwork if you want the passcodes. Vice President. Dear Miss Lin Zhao, allow me to rephrase my earlier request. You send me the passcodes and I'll review the Magical Research Center's finances. I heard that your lab's been hemorrhaging funds this last quarter. Perhaps I could message those numbers to make the lab appear more monetarily efficient. Attached are the passcodes for my department's core system terminal. You will access the system only under my direct supervision. Welcome to 10 Mechanical Services. Disconnect. Так, значит, можно еще налутать кодов. Кодов можно налутать. А чё меня сюда зовет? Я же здесь уже все понажимал. В чем прикол? Или это багло? Судя по всему, это багло. Я же уже информацию вытянул. Мне уже там делать нечего. Можно уже выходить из матрицы. Jack out. Так. Hack security. Use Decker to free Raymond. Find Raymond in Lab 12. По идее, с этим всем добром можно где-то на лифте найти нужный путь. Sign. Что за знак? VP of Operations. Что за хер? I was hoping you would have handled things with... Show should put this more discretion. As a runner, I thought you'd know better, and it's too late to change tax now. What with all the dead guards around here? Have we met? Not until now, but I consider myself a great judge of character. And now that you are here, you have a choice to make. Fight me or walk away. No need to spill more blood than required. Besides, bullets are expensive. I knew you were a reasonable man. Good luck of you. И все? И это все? Ну, допустим. Так. Где Lab 12 находится-то, а? Нет такого кода. Detailing areas, project 2231, complex, lab 12, 44 526, сюда. Так, 44 526, добрый вечер. Code accepted. On the elevator wall is a large panel covered in buttons. A keypad is mounted beside it. The buttons are left unlabeled, but you know from plastic-faced man's data which floors have security stations. Так, подожди, я же ввел, алло. Паскод есть. Какой еще код? Подожди. Second код. А какой нахрен second код? Меня о second коде не предупреждали. Second код. Слышишь, блин, алло. Where should I find it? I have no freaking idea where to find the second code. Probably this guy may help me. VP of Operations. И все, я с ними уже один раз поговорил. Больше взаимодействовать с ними нельзя. Можно еще раз сюда пройти. Попробовать здесь. Security, ну это понятно. А, тогда же здесь уже нельзя взаимодействовать. А, нет, все можно. Изобиль, вперед, фас. Типа не догуглила здесь или что? Все как бы. Все, что есть. Так, ну окей. Судя по всему, остается идти на другой этаж. И на другом этаже пробовать подключиться к другому security терминалу. Тогда, возможно, мне дадут вторую часть пароля. Не зря дали изначально 3 локации, на 2, видимо, придется зайти. Так, это у нас сюда. Лифтецкий и... Давай саббейзмент. Откуда эта агрессия, а? Так, ну хорошо. Поехали. Жаль, полечить нельзя. Могло быть намного хуже. Намного хуже. Такс. 65. Этих вообще не видно. Раз. 2. 3. Теперь 70 даже. Ну, я надеюсь, главного героя не зацепит. А если еще и убежать дадут главному герою, вообще супер. А где охрана? Что-то подозрительно. Серьезно? Так просто? Ну окей, погнали. Погнали. Угу, угу. Блин, а можно как-то выйти из боя? Нет? Хорошо, нет так нет. Так, ну давай, что, куда? Сюда надо как-то прийти, правильно? Джек ин. Джек ин. Так, хорошо, хорошо, хорошо. Поехали. Маршрут есть. Точка назначения есть. Раз. Так, тут какие-то тараканы проклятые. Не, ну может же попадать, когда хочет. Может. Екс, минус таракан. Минусы эти непонятные ребята. Другое дело. Меня тупо выбили? Меня тупо выбили, у меня нету чем воскресить? Не, стопэ, есть. Жесть. Просто жесть. Это что там за крит залетел такой на миллиард урона? Я просто взял и отъехал. Что за беспредел? Ну в смысле? В смысле? Так, а ну-ка хорошо, стопай сюда подойти. Сюда раз. Хорошо. Хорошо. Ломаем. 30 секунд. Поехали. 5-1, 5-4. 5-1, 5-4. 3-2, 9-5. 3-2, 9-5. 6-1, 1, 3-9. 6-1, 1, 3-9. 5, 4, 9, 9, 9. 5, 4, раз, два, три. 8, 2, 4, 4, 2, 6. 8, 2, 4, 4, 2, 6. 7, 9, 4, 1, 3, 6. 7, 9, 4, 1, 3, 6. 3, 1, 7, 1, 4, 8, 9. 3, 1, 7, 1, 4, 8, 9. Второй, третий В. Так, за карлючки второй, третий В. Вот этот. Два похожих было. Так, сломать security ноду. You hacked the nodes and the now vulnerable network is quickly infected by spoof. Так, ну это был это уже текст с прошлого раза. А дальше-то что? Дальше-то что? У меня второго-то кода не прибавилось. К сожалению. Что толку? Давайте еще посмотрим, что здесь будет. Тараканища какие-то. О как. Неожиданно. Я думал, с тараканом придется долго и нудно биться. Беги, Форест, беги. Ломаем. Так. 30 секунд. 7, 5, 6, 1. 7, 5, 6, 1. 3, 6, 5, 1. 3, 6, 5, 1. 3, 5, 5, 2, 1. 3, 5, 5, 2, 1. 2, 8, 2, 7, 2, 2, 8, 2, 7, 2. 8, 9, 7, 2, 2, 5. 8, 9, 7, 2, 2, 5. 5, 8, 7, 9, 8, 4. 5, 8, 7, 9, 8, 4. 9, 9, 8, 4, 4, 9, 1. 9, 9, 8, 4, 4, 9, 1. Последний В. И за корлючка. В и за корлючка. Вот это может быть оно. Очень похоже. Очень похоже. Так. The captain of this station has pre-approved the limited release of Laboratory 12's elevator code to Omega personnel. Receipt of this message is proof of your authorization. Warning, this information is highly sensitive and should remain restricted to Omega Plus knowledge only. Violators, blah blah blah. After a quick scan of data stored, 2 message threads stand out. One about locker room and second about first aid station. Давайте maintenance и security. Did you assess change the locker code again? Sure did, but only because your department forgot to do it. I don't need your sass, I need the damn locker codes. Security 2626, you're welcome. First aid station, notice of security updates. Apparently those dicks over at maintenance have been tossing their crappy broken gear into the first aid room, so I changed the door code. Now it's 4990. If they get past, just remember that it's a medical facility. The pricks will be spelling up thanks the next time they hack someone's arm off with a loader of whatever. Текс. Теперь валим, получается, да? Тихо. Аккуратно. Аккуратно валим. А ну-ка. Первый код был... Все, есть 2 кода. Есть 2 кода. Какой сам ведешь? На какой... Какой не введешь? Все, выход. Выход есть. А тут что? Locker room. А, 2.6, 2.7, 2.6, 2.7. The locker opens with a faint click. Inside are shrink-wrapped sand maintenance uniform. О, какое-то время можно будет не палиться, что ты чужой. The rest of your team begrudgingly rifle through the locker, picking out uniforms closest to their size. One by one, they button up, and soon hodgepodge of frumpy maintenance workers stand before you. A little tight in the arms, but great in the hips. I could really tear up a dance floor in this. This is the pose I'll use to win hearts. Hope Zen doesn't mind if I keep this. Ты как бы смотри, все-таки свои шмотки здесь оставляешь. Свои явно получше, чем какая-то униформа рабочих обычная. Скорее всего. Хотя могу и ошибаться. Так. Numerical код. Значит, первым делом 44526. Тихо. 526. Да. Второй код. Второй код. 25301. 25301. Very fine. Sequence accepted. Access to special projects granted. Please have your Omega ID ready at check-in. On the elevator wall is a large panel covered in buttons. Так, Lab 12. Нам туда, за батей. Entering special projects will alert the rapid response squads. There will be no turning back. Типа у меня есть выбор, ребята. Я сейчас прям могу развернуться, такой типа аптечек где-то пособирать, да? Было бы забавно, если да, конечно. но вряд ли. Assist. The elevator codes acquired. You head into the enclosed space, watching the ceiling access panel closely as you make your way to Lab 12. Light elevator music contrasts sharply with the smell of sweat and cordite. As the lights on the elevator hit 12, you cover the door and wait. Там бригада спецназа меня уже ждет. Наверняка. Автосейвд. Чудно. The security captain studies his fingernail cuties cuticles или cuticles. Кутикулы. With quiet intensity, he looks ready to draw out a standard challenge, but stops when he sees your maintenance uniform. He raises his weapon. Okay, hold on. You should know that maintenance is not allowed to be here without an Omega level escort. You have 2 seconds to produce an Omega level ID before I open fire. Я думаю, open fire будет в любом случае, но давайте подыграем. Hey, no need for this to get bloody. Bring him down. Ну, понятно. Кто бы сомневался. У меня сомнений не было. Единственное, что я не ожидал, что прям так сразу. Ты такой-то за шо? Пацаны, куда? 61. Везде 61. Ну, что делать? Так, давай посмотрим, что у нас тут. 56. Надо реализовывать гранаты, пока есть возможность. И в нычку. Всего 2. Всего 2 влетело. 71. Неплохо. Неплохо. Так, зайца главному герою. И тоже куда-то на нычку. Бэм. Единственное, что меня сейчас очень сильно смущает, это то, что я потратил свою... свою единственную воскрешалку. Соответственно, если у меня кто-то отъедет, то это уже насовсем. Как минимум до конца задания. А задание явно будет долгим. Так, плюс 1 хп. Бери карту. Бери карту. Так, game saved, хорошо. Это радует. Никого нет. Чё, батя, что ли? Lab 12 smells of shiny new computer equipment, and the entire room hums with quiet efficiency. Monitors being occasionally broadcasting quiet alerts. The whole environment breathes high-tech serenity. The centerpiece of the scene is a cockpit-like capsule containing the unconscious form of Raymond Black, reclining peacefully on what looks to be some sort of surgical couch. Wires run from myriad assist device to the back of his head. Impressive setup. Josephine Sand must have spent a fortune on this. Holy shit, Raymond. Let's get him out of there. All at once, alarm klaxons begin to blare. The door that you entered through slides shut, and you can hear the latching mechanism engage. It's locked tight. The pounding sound of heavy footsteps resonates from the other side. Bodies approaching and moving at a rapid clip. Whatever we're gonna do, we'd better do it fast. We're about to have a company. Давайте вот что-нибудь делать. This is hopeless. We can't shut this thing down according to the normal spec. We don't have the time or the clearance or the personnel. Maybe if we had a weak echelon security clearance and an army of lab techs, but we don't. We're gonna have to improvise. Блин, ну тяжелейший выбор, конечно. You're talking improvising with his brain. We don't have a choice. We come up with something else or we leave him here. Давайте поищем путь. Eventually you turn up an alternative method, labeled deeply unsafe for removing a subject from the machine mid-procedure. In order to perform an emergency disconnect, you're going to have to reprogram his memory manually using engrams stored in the assist machine's memory. Doing this through the terminal would take hours. You'll need Decker to guide this process in real time. If you fail to restore Raymond's memories properly, he will suffer catastrophic neurological damage. In the best case scenario, he will be left vegetable. In the worst case scenario, he will die. Я даже не знаю, какой из них на самом деле лучший и худший, ну да ладно. Погнали. Погнали. Джек-ин. Так, ну остальным что? Остальным, получается, надо приготовиться. Скорее всего, будут вламываться противники. Надо их встречать. Вариантов особо нету. К сожалению. К сожалению. Чтобы лечить кого-то до нанесения урона, было бы вообще супер. Просто супер. Ой. Так, ну хорошо, хоть они промахиваются. Это радует. Промахиваются, да не все. Так, здесь у нас нет инструкции, куда идти. Control Hub, блокер IC. Ломаем. Так, 25 секунд. Окей, старт. 1, 2, 4, 9. Изи. 4, 8, 8, 4. Изи. 8, 1, 9, 8, 2. 8, 1, 9, 8, 2. 3, 8, 7, 1, 3. 1, 3. 3, 4, 9, 7, 6, 4. 3, 4, 9, 7, 6, 4. 8, 8, 3, 9, 6, 2. 8, 8, 3, 9, 6, 2. И последний 2, 2, 9, 8, 6, 8, 2. 2, 2, 9, 8, 6, 8, 2. Первая М, последняя закорючка. Первая М, последняя закорючка. Вот это похоже, да? С треуголкой. Оно. Оно. The console's display blossoms to life at your approach. 10 Mechanical Services, Special Projects Division, Control Hub. README. Scanning the files, you find a list of procedures that governs the safe removal of subjects from the machine. According to the file, all 4 memory engrams need to be locked into the Control Hub in chronological order. Then, and only then, can a subject be ejected without suffering permanent neurological damage. Так. Engram is slot 1. Slot active. Slot 3 active. Slot 2 active. Slot 4 active. Disconnect. Так, хорошо. F5 на всякий случай. Поехали. Chronological order, да? То есть первый. Еще бы урончик наносить было бы неплохо. %78%. В упор мы промахиваемся. Я понял. Я все понял. Судя по всему, сейчас будет disconnect. Нет, тоже промахивается. Тоже промахивается. Так, окей, здесь у нас жопа. Здесь мы вызываем крысу. И воруем этого. Так, и лечим. Хилки надо вообще по КД использовать. Есть возможность, надо юзать. Обязательно. $79. Попало. Отлично. Не, ну я чувствую здесь на... Сколько у меня сейчас? 45 трейса. Блин, ну есть вполне неплохие шансы так на третьем-четвертом этапе получить просто сигнал тревоги. Тогда придут все. Ждем. 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 Крыса. Ждем. Ты сдохни. А может и зря. Надо было оставить этого демона. Ладно, не столь важно. Не столь важно. Раз, два, три. Так, ну погнали. Да вы издеваетесь надо мной. Да вы издеваетесь надо мной, еще и промазала. Я, скорее всего, не успею с такими темпами. Скорее всего, не успею. Поехали. 4, 7, 2, 3. 4, 7, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 9. 5, 4, 3, 9. 7, 4, 7, 6, 4. 7, 4, 7, 6, 4. 5, 6, 1, 9, 2. 5, 6, 1, 9, 2. 4, 3, 7, 9, 8, 1. 4, 3, 7, 9, 8, 1. 7, 8, 7, 5, 9, 3. 7, 8, 7, 5, 9, 3. 6, 8, 4, 2, 8, 3, 3. 6, 8, 4, 2, 8, 3, 3. A flood of engrams streaks by. You hack into the flow, capturing a small clump of tight, distinct memories, tiny and round. One of them glows, set apart from the others by its intensity. The verdant aroma of a still pond on a late summer day. Its reflective surface is disturbed by a single tear. As the ripples glide from its impact point, a young boy's face is reflected in the water, grief fracturing in innocence. He traces the character for father in the water with his finger. Так, инграмм 1. Малой парень, который что-то там рисует. Так. Сохраняется это Raymond as a young boy. Окей. Окей. Идрит, сколько их тут. Беда в том, что скоро приедет этот наблюдатель. Мне надо вот этого, наверное, в первую очередь вынести каким-то чудом. Вот хотя бы таким. Во, если таракана убиваю, дальше у меня уже движение по нормальной траектории будет. О, топчик. Так. Хакаем. 30 секунд. Хилимся, живем. 3, 1, 8, 4. 2, 6, 6, 5, 4. 2, 6, 6, 5. Все, да, куда 4? 9, 3, 3, 2. Так, 9, 3, 3, 2, 7. 3, 4, 7, 4, 3. 3, 4, 7, 4, 3. 1, 8, 1, 4, 6, 7. 1, 8, 1, 4, 6, 7. 8, 6, 5, 8, 6, 3. 8, 6, 5, 8, 6, 3. 1, 6, 4, 9, 1, 5, 8. 1, 6, 4, 9, 1, 5, 8. М последняя. Третья закорлючка. Может быть, вот это? Нет. М последняя, третья закорлючка в вот это. Да. Изи. Изи катка. Так. A cascade of engrams tumbles as it streams past. You hack into the current, capturing the thick knots of distant memories. Так. The youth center's gymnasium is thick with the scent of adolescent perspiration marked by a steady diet of cheap soy protein. His authority as young director is challenged, and although the boy couldn't be more than 12, then stand eye to eye. The boy looks at his graying hair and sneers. You better know Kung Fu, mister. The pudgy boy says, I know lots of things, he replies. Are you smart enough to learn them? Are you smart enough to learn them? Бля, ты крыса, а? Так, поехали. По идее, должны без приключений добраться до выхода. Так. Значит, здесь у нас что? Young boy, middle-aged man, да? Фига себе middle-aged, там 12 лет вроде, не? Ладно. Хрен с вами. Так, очередные 2 таракана и какая-то лазерная пушка. Нойс. Так, тут у нас что? Тут у нас не хватает оружия, да? Баум. Это был последний. Это был последний, значит... Становимся в Overwatch. Тебе даем очко. Перезаряжаешься. О, нет, крыса, нет. Да вы нахрен прикалываетесь. Вы нахрен прикалываетесь. Да вы жрутите! Мне же нечем воскресить. Абсолютно нечем. У меня нет травма-китов. Я давненько не нажимал F5, да? Так, хорошо. Load game. Quick save последняя была, да? О, тяжко будет, тяжко. Слишком много завязано на везении, конечно, слишком много. То есть я здесь вообще ничего, по сути, не смогу сделать, если зарандомит. Тогда разве что надо сохраняться после каждого После каждого пройденного куска. Control Hub. Все прочитал, да? Leave the hub alone. Окей. Идем в первый. Надо тогда сейчас пройти и сохраниться после первого. Так, рожаем. Рожаем подмогу. Больше выстрелов, больше шансов закончить это раньше. Погнали. Не видишь ее, что ли? Ладно, пропускай. Пропускай. Так, хорошо. Ты воруешь этого. Вызываешь... Крысу не вызываешь, что ли? Ладно, допустим, крысу не вызываешь. Тут вызываешь. Так, ты 99. Убивать. Куда ты идешь? Куда ты идешь? Да вы издеваетесь. Просто издеваетесь. Так, хорошо. Этот хотя бы против них воюет. Уже радует. Значит, во-первых, меткость. Во-вторых, вот этого валить. В-третьих, вот этого валить. Не судьба. Не, отсюда не видишь, серьезно, а отсюда? Что за бред? Что за бред? Взломать старт. 8, так, 8, 7, 4, 1. 4, 9, 6, 9. 8, 5, 4, 6. 8, 5, 4, 6. 5, 7, 6, 3, 3. 5, 7, 6, 3, 3. 4, 6, 2, 4, 7, 2. 4, 6, 2, 4, 7, 2. 2, 8, 2, 9, 9, 5. 2, 8, 2, 9, 9, 5. 7, 4, 1, 1, 4, 7, 3. 7, 4, 1, 1, 4, 7, 3. Так, закорлючка. Это похоже. Похоже на то. Это уже я прочел. Файл, save game. Сейв на новом месте. Думаю, одними квиксейвами тут не обойтись. Всякое может быть. Да куда ты промахиваешься на 86%? Ты ж, паскуда, на 14 не попадешь. Не попадешь. Паскуда, тварь, мразь. Так, тараканы практически без разницы. 84 промах. Почему бы и нет, да? Пауки какие-то жесткие. Я прям не знаю. Я же надеюсь, за один ход не убьет. Будем надеяться, будем надеяться. Так. Изобиль хилим в первую очередь. Что, еще и аптечек бы найти, конечно. Возвращаемся. Пусть там между собой разбираются. Да ты издеваешься. Я, конечно, тварь. Да куда ты промахиваешься? Ну 75%. Ну что это такое? Поехали, поехали. Хак. 3-8-3-1. 6-4-4-8. 3-9-8-5-2. 5-7-9-3-1. Ой-ой, блин, случайно. 1-9-1-4-9. 1-9-1-4-9. 6-7-4-3-4-3. 8-5-6-9-4-3. 8-5-6-9-4-3. 4-6-3-5-5-6-8. 4-6-3-5-5-6-8. Так, а еще тут с большим количеством эмок. Вот это, наверное, да? Да. For sure, that's it. Так, второе воспоминание, да, это все понятно. Второе воспоминание есть. Значит, сохранить игру. Сохранить. Поехали. И тут, конечно, в очередной раз куча всякого говна. Я уже не могу вызывать своих роботов. Это ужасно. Это ужасно. Так, хорошо. Тут у нас куча всякого. Надо использовать все по максимуму, судя по всему, поскольку бьют очень больно. Добили. Так, качнем себе меткость. Теперь попробуем завалить гада. 250, это серьезно. Это прям уронище. Так, 25 секунд. Поехали. 2869. 6289. 6289. 21837. 21837. 68673. 68673. 545 235 545 235 9856 94 9856 94 596 5728 596 5728. Так, закорлючки вот такие на конце. Второй М не подходит, закорлючки на конце. Второй М, одно из трех. Это, судя по всему. Судя по всему, вот это. Так, Energy Bank, Engram Bank 3. A tide of engrams rolls past. You hack into the flow, capturing a shard of distinct memories, crystalline and latticed. One of them shimmers whitely, standing apart by its radiance. The scream wakes him like an old friend, as it does every night. He pulls the sheets away from his damned body and stumbles to the bathroom, his heart pounding. Rinses his face and the back of his neck with cool water. He looks up from the basin into the mirror and finds an old man staring back at him, a terrified old man. Так, пацан, middle-aged и старик. Такое ощущение, что что-то пропустили. Сейчас посмотрим в 4-м. Так, сохранить. Все, нельзя сохранять. Окей, F5. Хрен с вами. О, тут их много. Тут их много. Я не могу вызывать подмогу. Повысил, называется, процент попадания. Что надо за укрытие, что ли, зайти? Да, у Яшка я, конечно, подставился. Что это за дела, блин? Я спрятался. Спрятался за укрытие. Что за беспредел? Так, братан, у тебя хилка есть? Очень надо. Прям очень надо. Ясно. Блин, ну стрёмно, осталась всего одна хилка. Противников явно будет дохренища. Так, что у нас тут? А еще в этого. Я думал, уже все. Так, ну эту лечим в первую очередь. Ха! На ней вообще весь квест держится. На самом деле, немного даже грустно, что в первой части, что во второй, что в третьей, по сути, один какой-то декер must have. Нет какого-то альтернативного пути. Пусть это и не главный герой. Пусть это может быть даже и не компаньон, то есть кто-то нанятый, но обязательно один должен быть. Так, последний кусок, да? Энграмм, банк 4. Фак. 2286. 7369, 7369. 21651, 21651. 84946. 192296. 192296. 641 976. 641 976. 7598939. 7598939. Первые две М. Это и ВВ. ВВ. Это вот этот. Да, это оно. Так, a current of engrams twists and churns as it flows past. You hack into the current, capturing a cluster of distinct memories, lumpy and fat. One of them hums loudly, calling your attention. Anticipation. The hall is long and ends in his door. He traverses the distance slowly, knowing that he is being observed by his new underlings. And there it is, newly installed, shining like a mirror on a door made from real wood, the brass nameplates. Edward Sen, Vice President of Special Projects. Pride swells within him. Так. Значит, young boy, aged man, old man, young executive. Да, то есть F5. На всякий случай. Hub. Host engram stream file. Reintegrate host. Значит, что получается? 1, 1, 4, 2, 3, да? 1. Young boy. 2. Young executive. 3. Middle age. 4. Old man. Reintegrate. Так, success, initiated. Окей, 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 окей. Батя, шо ты там? The clean room echoes with your footsteps as you approach the capsule containing the assist surgical coach. Through the window, you can see that the last 8 years have not been kind to Raymond Black. The trauma and the last few days is really apparent. The pasty pallor of his skin and the white growth of stubble of his chin make him appear far older than 65. He lies unconscious, his chest barely moving, his eyes sunken, and his jaw slack. Carefully applied gauze dressing on his balding head surrounds a gleaming metal port, a data jack. A thin bundle of wires run from the jack to the device mounted on the capsule wall. Oh my god, Dad? Duncan? I'm here, yeah, Vlados is here too. Hello, Mr. Runner, good to see you. He must be disoriented from the assist programming. Looks like we got him just in time. No time to catch up right now, Vlados. We've got to move. Let's get back to the boat. I have questions and I want some answers. Тикаем. Disconnecting Raymond from the assist device proves to be straightforward, as does getting him out of the capsule and onto the clean room floor. It feels as if he barely weighs anything at all. Lead on, Vlados. I'll be right behind you. Ну, погнали. Но я так понимаю... Да, я так понимаю, здесь будет еще засада. Не все так просто. Не все так просто. Так, хорошо, спрячемся здесь. Изобель. Что ты там, родная? Раздашь говна? 54%. Надо. Надо. Хоть что-то. Ну, могло быть лучше, конечно. Так, 60. Везде 60. Поехали. Поехали. 70 даже неплохо. Тут только на овервотче постоять. Мист 90%. Стой на месте. Так, расстрелять. И... Ага. Raymond Black. Alarms blare as you hustle Raymond from Special Project section of Prosperity Tower, but you encounter no resistance. Raymond unsteadily gropes his way through the corridors of the corporate headquarters, holding onto your elbow for support. Occasionally, the old man fingers the gauze dressing on his head with his free hand, wincing when he touches a tender patch. 10 minutes pass between the time you exit the building and enter MTR station. The team remains on high alert, scanning the streets and buildings for signs of 10 security forces units. Like a stream of cockroaches, you scuttle underground into the cool safety of the mass transit tunnels. You pay the fare, grab Raymond, and make your way to the subway platform. The sound of the old man's ragged breathing loudly rushes past your ear. Seconds tick slowly while you wait for the subway train to arrive. Это, конечно, мне нравится. В любой непонятной ситуации просто идешь на метро и такой сидишь себе 10 минут, поезд ждешь. Такой, ну да, это мой путь к отступлению, там все дела. 10 кармы, окей. The team hustles Rain... Так, стоп. Текст вроде тот же, окей. The team hustles Raymond onto a subway car, quietly taking up defensive positions and scoping the platform for signs of pursuit. The old man is unsteady on his feet, but he insists on standing under his own power. He grabs a railing and holds on with white knuckles as the train lurches forwards. A group of tourists sit nearby, conspicuously avoiding eye contact with any of you. Your crew looks over the old man with the bandage on the back of his head, exchanging meaningful expressions. Raymond squints at the odd group surrounding him, but his nod indicates that he understands he's among friends. Wu drags his goggles off his head, bending his knees to get better look at this foster father. A tangled knot of relief, compassion, resentment, and hurt chants across your younger man's face as he wrestles with the confused emotions. Raymond, are you alright, little man? I fought against the reprogramming. His mother's medical technology must be amazing. It's hard to believe he's walking under his own power so soon after the surgery. Yeah, well, Grandma's an amazing woman. Her high-tech brain surgery, her ownership of the cops, her execution of my partner and those runners. Oh, the way she had the plastic-faced man snatch her own son. Amazing woman. Let's just get some answers. Yeah, you're right. That's what I want more than anything. This man, whoever he is, has a lot of explaining to do. Are you ready to start telling us the truth, Edward? Yes, Duncan, I'm ready to tell you everything. I had planned to explain it all when you arrived in Hong Kong. We are here now, Ray. You're here, and I'm grateful for all you have done for me, all you needed to do. The old man leans back on the wall of the subway car and gathers his thoughts. He seems to swoon for a moment, but then inhales deeply, swallows hard, and pulls himself erect. My name is Edward Tsen. I am the only son of Josephine Tsen, the CEO of Tsen Mechanical Services. Heir to the company. Before I left Hong Kong, I was the vice president of special projects, the up-and-coming star of the company. Was prosperity one of your special projects? Something you've never seen before washes over the tired old man's face. Shame. You've heard of it. Prosperity. I see. I was part of a project my mother envisioned to rebuild Kowloon Walled City, a walk-in neighborhood for unprivileged citizens, fully integrated with job training programs, co-op childcare, drug counseling centers. It was a new approach to low-income housing in the East, the springboard to prosperity for hundreds of thousands. Yeah, that doesn't sound like the place I grew up in. Mother personally oversaw every aspect of the project to ensure that every detail was executed properly. Chose each project manager herself. Chaired regular status meetings with architects, builders, visited the worksite for surprise inspections. She was driven to make her renewed, revitalized walled city a success. So that was prosperity, another low-income housing project? No, the walled city wasn't the prosperity project. Prosperity was something I built at the center of the walled city. Then his hand drops, his eye rolls back in his head, and his face goes slack. A moment later, an invisible grip takes hold of your chest, constricts it, squeezing the air from your lungs. Your vision grays from the edges, and the world surges backward, leaving you suspended in the distance, on the periphery of reality. Something is hurtling towards you, approaching from the fringe of your mind like a bullet train. It screams ahead, closer and closer, until it is upon you, overwhelming you with its presence, and then nothing, silence, until a scream pierces your consciousness, pulls your scream into its source. You're back in Walled City, the city of darkness. Батя, шо ты начудил, скажи мне? Шо ты начудил? Мадрид. Your mind ranges, inverts, and then violently jerks back into your skull. Your stomach cramps hard, and the taste of bile burns your throat. A thin trickle of cold sweat slides down the small of your back, and your eyes refuse to focus. Your crew fares no better. Gobet pulls herself from the floor, madness and folly squeaking worriedly in the folds of her clothing. Isobel grips a railing, her back to the group, retching silently. That wasn't a dream, that was something else. It was a vision. I saw some sort of machine inside the walled city. It was churning something. I felt wrong, impossible. I think it was ripping, I don't know. Reality. It was ripping a hole in reality. I believe we have just fallen in over our heads. What the hell was that, Raymond? No answer. Wu spins to find Raymond covering his head in his hands, shuddering and weeping. She's here. What the hell is going on? She's here, the queen with 1,000 teeth. I left prosperity in there, left prosperity in there, left prosperity in there. Oh, looks like Raymond's gone bye-bye. Shh, gobbet. Take it easy, Raymond. You're with me, Vlados. Vlados, you came. Are we in the subway? Why is he stuttering? He's not. I used to stutter, and this doesn't sound like a stutter to me. Something else is going on. Could be visions, could be the aborted brain surgery, or some combination of the two. Something bad is happening. Began a long time ago, and I'm responsible. The Queen. Prosperity. What is prosperity, Raymond? What is all this happening? Raymond turns his head towards you, trying to focus. This is all because of me and my mother. Something we did a long time ago. My fault. Prosperity. All those people. Those poor, poor people. Prosperity projects? You know about prosperity? Блин, кругами ходим. Yes, sort of. We already covered this, Raymond. We know that it's in the center of the walled city and that Edward Sand built it. And we have Edward Sand here to explain the whole thing, right, Edward? Yes, that's me. Edward Sand is Raymond Black. I know, I can explain. The beginning, sometime in the 20s, my mother was awarded the contract to rebuild the housing development, the walled city. Well, from the results, I'd say your mom kinda blew it. Prosperity failed. I told you, the walled city wasn't the prosperity project. Prosperity was the fortune engine I built at the center of the walled city. My special project. Fortune engine? What are you talking about? You can't create fortune, Raymond. You kinda can, Gansho. Some practitioners of Feng Shui believe they can do it. Ever heard of Baguo of the 8 Aspirations? No, Gobbet. I must have skipped school that day. Keep going, Gobbet. I want to hear this. It's Neo Feng Shui. The masters of the crafts can map the flow of Qi and how it corresponds to different aspects in someone's life. Fame, relationships, creativity, inner knowledge, health, and fortune. That's 6. I thought you said there were 8 aspects. I don't remember the other 2, but one of them was definitely fortune. So what does your fortune engine do? The fortune engine was designed to improve the balance of Qi in a negative Qi environment. A negative Qi environment? Somewhere shitty, like a slum. Like a low-income housing project. I believe that with the fortune engine, the rebuilt walled city might never become a slum. But the machine malfunctioned. Malfunctioned how? The mechanism I created to circulate negative Qi in the walled city, it got stuck. Stuck on what? Raymond rises slowly, pulling himself from the cramped heap. His tone turns instructive, the old Raymond. But this time his explanation is halting and wary. Think of a fortune engine as a sort of propeller blades moving through astral space, circulating Qi, keeping it fresh. When Qi flows, where the R rhythm is right, the results are positive. Fortuitous. When I brought my design for the fortune engine to my mother, she embraced it. She more than embraced it. She bankrolled it, put an entire division of 10 mechanical under me to develop it. Sounds like a big bet. The biggest of her career. Mother said that if the machine could bring fortune to the less fortunate, it would prove my theory. And if it could help the poor, imagine what a fortune engine could do for Josephine Sen. But that's not what happened, was it? Something went wrong. The people in the walled city didn't benefit from the fortune engine, did they, Raymond? Doesn't answer. Okay. Answer the question, Raymond. What went wrong? It got stuck. The mechanism I created to circulate negative key in the walled city got stuck. Stuck on what, Raymond? Stuck on what? Something in astral space. I wasn't sure what. That sounded bad. The machine started pulling negative key, and the walled city started to fill with it. Fortune turned bad. I've seen in places where the feng shui was really bad. That's not what I felt when I was in walled city. No, ki needs to flow. Eventually, the enormous pool of negative ki became toxic. Fortunes turned from bad to worse, much worse. Mother's vision for a rebuilt, revitalized walled city fell to ruin. It only took a few years for the trapped toxic ki to turn a brand new housing development into a hellish slum. Why didn't you turn it off? I couldn't. Something happened. Part of the malfunction. We couldn't turn it off. Then why didn't you blow it up? Wrap in the C6 and turn into a scrap heap? Mother refused. Why? I never found out. She wouldn't tell me. She would only say that it wasn't worth spending the additional resources to figure out how to fix it, or even how to turn it off. She sealed off the maintenance room. Our engineers poured a sarcophagus of thick concrete around it so no one would ever find it, ever find out what we had done. Then she wrote the project off business loss and moved on like nothing had ever happened, right? Yes. After that I left Hong Kong, started a new life in Seattle, found you two. You should have stayed, try to do something about it. You were a coward, Raymond. Yes, Duncan, I was a coward. And the guilt, the burden of my cowardice gripped me like a vice that never loosened. It's eaten me from the inside for 20 years, and then the nightmares began, horrible. Still, I kept working on the problem night and day. Did you ever figure out on how to stop it? It took me years, even after you left, to make the connections, find what to do, but I did. I figured it out. And still the nightmares intensified until they became unbearable. I knew I had to come back, fix what I had done. That's why I contacted you, to help me see it through. Wait, there's still a piece missing. What's causing the visions we're all having? When the machine malfunctioned, when the circulator became stuck in astral space, it lodged in another domain and something lived there. Not good. After 20 years of constant force, the circulator began tearing astral space, created a rupture in her domain, and now she's pushing through. Yeah, she's pushing through, alright. The queen with 1,000 fucking teeth. A thing you brought here, Raymond. I understand that, Mr. Wu. That's why I came back. I believe she is only partially here. She hasn't pushed all the way through yet. She's probably her new hunting ground must... I know what to do now, how to extract the circulator, shut the machine down before she can fully manifest. Just get me to the center of the walled city, to the fortune engine. I will do the rest. Please help me. Help them. Так. You helped us overcome some hairy mistakes when we were kids, Ray. Now we get to help you fix yours. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can go back in there. It's not just a thing in there, Vlados. It's a Yamakin, a demon goddess. We've trapped this. We can't run, and believe me, I want to. It's all I've been thinking of. But the APB is still on us, and those visions, I got a feeling they're not gonna stop unless we make them stop. And that fragile old man's the only way to do it. We've got to take him in there, we've got to help him fix this. I have the opportunity to kill a god. I cannot allow the opportunity to pass unanswered. I had this fucking country, I had this life. Vlados is right, we owe you, Raymond, and I'm not walking away from that. I'll help you fix the mess or die trying. Then we'll be even. I'm no coward. Вот, теперь, наверное, мне дадут последние обилки, да? Или нет? Поговорить с триадным солдатом. The storm isn't a typhoon, it's something else. Да, и дали мне последний уровень. Дали мне последний уровень. Так, шаман, что ты у нас? Consume Spirit. Хилит на 20. Огонь. Haste Spell новый, нет. Хилку беру хилку. Так. Аугмент. Мини-лаунчер. Берем. Ты. Отбрасывать гранаты. Это интересно. Или газовая граната? Не, давайте отбрасывать гранаты. Звучит весело. Whirlwind. Hit just in targets. Regenerate. Регенерацию беру. Регенерацию. Денег мне дали? Нет? Нет, не дали. Блин, мне бы, конечно, найти хилку, что ли. Может, тут продаются какие-то аптечки. Я бы аптечек накупил штук 20 на всякий случай. Судя по всему, задание там уже близится к завершению. Так, кто из вас? Кто из вас может мне продать аптечку? Так, ну это только дронов продает, да? Аутфиты. ХП для дронов. Это неинтересно. Лив. Ты что? Хардкор Сайбер. Это импланты, да? Это импланты, на которые нет денежек. Нет денежек. Гид. Так, goodbye. Goodbye. Может, этого можно купить. Если я куплю хотя бы 3-4 аптечки, то я счастлив. Можно будет отправляться на следующее задание. Так, тех. Что ты у нас продаешь? Только техна. Юту. Ну, побегаем, посмотрим. Кто-то ж должен продавать аптечки, ребят. Ну, камон. Камон, гайс, как говорится. Ой, что-то пока никак. Парлор пятифаз. Так, ты. Так, продаешь что-нибудь? Магия, талисманы. Consumable. Сия. Ух, это, конечно же, есть. Попробуй еще найди. Может, оружейник продает? Этот из 88. Надо его тогда еще чекнуть. Авось продает. Вообще, типа, было бы логично. Все-таки продает обычное оружие, соответственно, и обычные аптечки. Так, консюмаблы, гранаты. Нет, не тут. Эти барыги ничего не продают. Точнее, это даже не барыги. Окей, ищем дальше. Где-то же должно быть. Хромалея там был. Хромалея там был. Может, у этой внутри там кто-то продает аптечки? Блин, должны же быть аптечки, ребята. Вы чё? Вы чё? Хрена лысого. Нереально. У кого купить? У кого купить? Кидалово какое-то. Ладно, раз такие дела, буду тогда заканчивать. В принципе, сегодня 2 миссии прошлись, причем весьма длинные. Даже немного затянул по отношению к тому, на что рассчитывал. Но, видимо, уже финишная прямая. Скоро будет финалочка, я думаю, 1-2 миссии, финалка. Ну а потом еще есть DLC-ха, куда надо импортировать сейв с основной игры. Там еще 6 миссий, насколько я помню. То есть, соответственно, еще 3-6 стримов, смотря сколько они там по времени занимают. Так, ну а на этом все. Спасибо всем за внимание, за активность в чатике. И до новых встреч!